All right, welcome back to another episode, I guess you could say. So, Commodore hasn't moved. On the last video I posted online, we were doing the radiator. So I'm still waiting on that radiator. It's been over a week now. But in the meantime, I can still do some minor things just to get it ready. So I had to replace the thermostat. It was stuffed. I also had to replace the transmission or the power steering cooler, which is usually positioned there. So I actually, I was looking around. I actually found one from Barsby's. So shout out to Barsby's for a cracker of a bit of gear. It'll do the job. I was going to put a transmission cooler in and run that as a power steering cooler. But I thought, well, you know, that'll do the job. That'll get me out of the strife that I'm in. Oh, you can fucking stay there then. So yeah, so this episode I'm just going to show you guys how to do your thermostat, which obviously goes right there. We'll install that, do the gasket, and I'll show you just a quick how-to on how to do that. And then we'll install the transmission or the power steering cooler line. All right, along with doing the thermostat, I've also went and got myself some radiator fluid, which doubles as a power steering fluid coolant for the radio when it does get here eventually. Just a filler bottle. Also got a gasket for the thermostat, one thermostat and a radiator cap. Everyone seems to forget that when they get a new radiator. They don't come with a cap. So let's crack into this thermostat. Alright, so first thing we need to worry about is when we remove this thermostat housing, the pipe here, is there is an old gasket. There was an old gasket on there. I just scraped off the surface with a razor blade, cleaned it up with a bit of thinners. It's pretty clean, that should do the job. So the first thing we'll need to do is grab this gasket, make sure it fits, and then we'll grab that thermostat and put it in the correct way on the motor. Alright, so the gasket's pretty much just that there. It does have a backing on it, which I've only got two hands, so I can't really do this one-handed. Basically remove that backing off the back of it. That goes on like so. We line it up and then we'll throw the bolts in. We'll take that backing off, we'll stick it on and we'll go. Alright, so thermostat wise, that's the housing there for it. This was the old one. It doesn't seem too bad, but I mean, for the sake of, $15 or whatever it is, just get a new one. So there's the new one. Always remember when you're pulling a thermostat out, remember which way it goes. I mean, it sounds silly, but save you a bit of grief. So that's how it goes. You just plop that in there. Now, with the hose itself, like what we spoke about, there was a sticky back on the back of that gasket. So that's stuff on there. We'll plonk that on there like so. I'll grab some bolts and we'll get it on there. Alright, so with the thermostat hand tightened on, I've just evenly tightened it up. The beauty of these Commodores is there's a freaking pipe that runs right over the top. So you can't quite get it on square on, but it should be good enough. So a little bit of pressure on one side, a bit of pressure on the other side. Repeat the process until you can get it nipped up like that. It doesn't need crazy amounts of pressure on it. That'll have it. One thermostat fitted. So now all I've got to do now is, obviously once I get my radiator, which I don't know when will turn up. In the meantime, I'm going to fit this transmission power steering cooler pipe. And then I'll await my radiator. Alright, with the power steering line, I've managed to wiggle it back into place. So you pretty much got to just play Tetris with it to get it to fit. So I actually brought this whole section back this way and then swung it back up and around. So as you can see, it's just got two factory screws. This one seems to be in pretty good nick. So I'm pretty happy that I managed to pick this up for $40. again, shout out to Barsby's. They removed it for me, cleaned it up for me and had it ready to go for me, so not many wreckers will do that for you. I'll tell you that right now. All right, screw these up. And I get my socket. All right. So I'll screw these up and we'll fit up the hoses on the other end, which are just sitting up and under there. So mind the mess, but there's 2 lines. I've got one there and I've got one tucked up in the engine bay. So alright, so 8mm these up. I don't imagine they need to be super tight. Fitted. You beauty. I'm very happy with that, considering I was considering putting a transmission cooler in. God, look at all the shit under here. So put that one under there, the one at the top goes onto the other one, and then we're fitted up. Alright, so the transmission, I keep calling it a transmission line, it's a power steering cooler line. So those 2 lines are fitted up. One runs actually all the way up to the rack, and this one here on the closer side to me runs up to the actual reservoir. So I just got to tighten those 2 up now. Alright, so this is probably the best angle I can get on the camera to do up these lines, but alright, so they're both fitted up now. A bit of a dicking around trying to get those hose clamps on. So they're all on, it's all connected. It's all nice and firm. So that should have fixed our power steering leak. Next step is to get this radiator, put the thermo fans and just swap everything over onto the new radiator. Slot that in, hook up the lines, do a flush. Yeah, get the battery back in and should be able to fire in the guts and see actually how this car runs. I haven't even really driven the car yet, but just solely because of the leaks. It was absolutely hammering out when I bought it. No coolant. It was leaking coolant hard out of the bottom of the tank, so I never really I haven't even driven it, so I've only just started it, put it on the car trailer, and that's about it. So once that's all in and on, I can actually evaluate to see how actually decent the motor runs. Alright, well that pretty much concludes this video. Yeah, we just put the thermostat in, fitted up that power steering line, that's all fitted back in now. Yeah, stay tuned, we'll get this radiator and we'll roll again. Hit like, hit share. I know it's a basic video, but you know, this car's going to come a long way. I've already spoken about the plans for the car, so this is just the very start. So thanks for watching.